Do a little practicing, and something simple like this. It's a wheel with a pole, and all I do is set it up here and find things that spin. It's a great way to work your wrist. If you're going to be a tennis player, you got to find some ways to practice at home. Sometimes I see videos and they say practice at home and they're in a tennis court, but I'm in my living room. And this is truly what's called practicing tennis at home. And so when you're at home, and the first rules are make sure you not want to break anything, so make sure you have distance. And it's always slow racket, medium maybe, and make sure you have space. And you don't want to be breaking anything. And so here I'm practicing with more of a continental grip, okay? All right, sometimes I'll switch over to a backhand grip just for serving a little bit, but more of a continental grip, and a good way is like a hammer. Get the right grip, and if you're way to a western or you're serving wrong grip, just inch over a little bit more. Go to your left. Just keep on working until you get right where you're supposed to be. Little improvements are always better than no improvements. And so here is a way I'm practicing. I have a rod with a wheel. You can find things that spin, and you practice things that spin. You can use a bicycle when you practice topspin. Turn the bike upside down and practice topspin. Topspin is always going low to high. I'm practicing slice right now, but if I were to practice topspin, I just turn it this way. And remember, it's like going from low to high. And I always like to put it on my right a little bit because I like to serve to the right. There's people with extremely high tosses. I'm amazed at how many players that are throwing the ball miles high. It seems like miles high. I mean, they got great timing when it comes down. You get a lot of serves, a lot of club players, but I'm just amazed. But here, just keep your toes lower and practice just here, going up. Anytime you go up, low to high, it's not going like over like this. That's bringing the ball down, but going up. It's a great way of practicing your serve at home. And so just get in the wheel and I'll practice. This is kind of low right here. If I pick it up a little bit more, maybe I'll place it on something here like this. And now I'm just practicing spinning the wheel, okay? So you can see the wheel spin. I will go down a little bit, I'll go down my knees. It's not bad, that go down on my knees. And I'm working my wrists. And whatever I do on my right hand side, I like to do it on my left hand side because I'm always trying to strengthen my muscles. And I can feel it in my shoulders on my right side. So then I go practice my left hand. Whenever I'm playing, I play too much, and I'll practice the left hand instead of practicing right-handed. I've been playing all day, or I've practiced or coached, and my right arm's hurting. I will practice my left hand for an hour or so. And so, if you're going to improve, you got to find ways to practice. And while you're doing something like this, there's no reason that you can't listen to some music, some good music, or you can listen to a good audio. Perhaps you can listen to some good podcast. There's always, I like one now I'm really listening to. I'm amazed, I've been teaching for a long time, or you know, my son, various people. I'm amazed how many things that I thought of and that other people thought of. It's kind of a confirmation. And so one of the sites I like for teaching is, I think it's Great Base Initiative. And then I like Patrick, you know, Patrick Mudere, I think it is. I like him for, it's a different style, but playing. I like the guy that uses a Topspin Pro all the time. I think his name is Ryan somebody. And then there's other people that you can listen to. Sometimes I like to keep it simple because some people need it simple. And never undergrading someone, you know, young people learning. But some people need to learn different ways. And so, and not everybody comes from the atmosphere where they can afford tennis. It's amazing how many rackets, good quality rackets, I basically almost give away, you know, because they can't afford them. And sometimes I'll bring the price so low, I never get paid for them either. But that's okay, as long as they continue to play tennis. I usually try to get something from, so there's an investment in them. It's like when you're playing tennis, you have to have some kind of investment in practice. And here I'm on my knees, I'm practicing left-handed, okay? Same way, if I'm going to work on my grip. I got a continental grip, I'm going to work on spinning. If I want to practice, you know, going topspin, I'm going to practice going up. Okay, it's a little bit harder for me, not used to doing this one, but I'm getting used to it as I do it more often. And so topspin's going from low to high, just like you would And you'd be amazed how many people are not going, they're going over the ball. And sometimes you see the pros, they see in practice and they go down, and they're not 6'6" or 6'3" or strong as these guys. And you ever measure yourself at the net where it's 3 feet, and you see where you have to go, if you go linear, how far you have to go forward. So here is a great way. And if you're playing, just if you're practicing, just use your hand, and then use a progression. Vandermeer used to be good talking about progressions, and then use short rackets, and then a half racket, okay, then a long racket. It's amazing. I saw a young kid just to begin to play tennis. Like when he was serving, he was using a half racket, and he was doing good. He was getting it in, and it's just a great way. And then lengthen your racket, okay. The closer you are to your racket, the more control. The further you're away from your racket, the further longer down, of course, you're going to get more acceleration. And so here's a great way of practicing going up, okay, for topspin, okay. And you notice I'm going off to the left this side because I'm practicing left-handed. If I were this side, I would just turn this side and practice this way, okay. And so it's just a simple way to practice. And if you're going to play tennis, you got to practice. That's the only way that you're going to improve. Practice, and then you put it into play. And as you put it into play, win or lose, you're getting better.